How many years have you guys been married for?
We're coming into 50 years.
50 years.
50.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our anniversary on August the 31st, we were 49 years.
49.
So
So
it's come-
August 31st is my birthday.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
And August 28th,
I'll-
I'll be 3 years in marriage. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
so
this
we have a lot
this
in
is for
common.
you.
Sir, so I'll start by asking you your name and how your story and how you met each other.
Okay. Bless God for you, Iffy.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
My name is Marion Harris Spann. Most people know me as Doc, D-O-C, Doc. And there are two groups of people that know me, Iffy. Some people know me as Harris, that's my middle name, and my wife changed it to my first name after we met, which is Marion.
Okay.
Okay? Then after we got married and a little later when I went to school at Howard University, now I'm Dr. Marion Spann.
Wow.
Okay, so I want to give you the backstory.
Okay.
Backstory first. I grew up in an environment that had a lot of females, and they had various relationships with males. So I vowed that I was going to make sure that wherever I would meet my mate, it would be from the saying that if you meet a woman in a bar, you got a bar woman.
Yeah.
If you meet a lady in church, you got a church woman. If she loves God, you got a Christian church woman. So with that in mind, my youth, when I grew up in church, I went from First Baptist Church in New Jersey, Bethlehem Baptist Church, and then afterwards I went to college, and I missed going to church so much that I asked some people, where is a good church? And they told me it was I was living in Baltimore, and I was attending Morgan State University, and so they gave me a church that was on the Alameda. When I first looked all around Baltimore, I found that the church on the Alameda, which was
St. Paul.
St. Paul.
St. Paul Baptist Church.
Okay.
I found that, and I started attending some of the services. I enjoyed it. At that point, I joined, and back then, most churches had something called the right-handed fellowship.
Okay.
The right-handed fellowship was after you joined, and the pastor would receive you and bless you, and he would assign you to a organization.
Okay.
So he knew that I liked music, and so he said, choir. At that point, I didn't know if I really wanted to get involved to that extent, but I did. So I started going to the choir rehearsals. There, I sat in the back, and there were two young ladies that would turn around and look. And I thought I was bashful and shy, so I put my head down. I tried not to look at them, and they kept looking at me. My lovely wife was one of them, one of them. So out of the two, both were beautiful young ladies, had previous relationships with men. My wife had, she was divorced at that time, and she had a 5-year-old daughter. So we talked extensively. I drove her home, which was only a block and a half away, and we talked, and honey, from there, you can elaborate.
Well, he said we were staring back at him. Mm-hmm. So he would keep his head down, but I kept looking anyway. And I was divorced, backslidden really, but I was in church and on the choir, but I was really a backslider. As a result of meeting him, we started going out together. He had dinner at his house, and made this fabulous dinner for me. It was a shellfish, and I'm allergic to crab cakes. He didn't know, so he made that dinner. And we started to see each other and found out we were a lot alike, had a lot of things in common. So he asked me to marry him, and I said, okay, yes, all right. But it took a year for the engagement and preparation. I didn't know he wanted a big wedding. I just wanted something simple. And it turned out to be a very large wedding.
Okay.
A year later, August 31st, 1974.
Wow.
Yes.
1974.
Yes.
So my dad got married 1987. So
Okay.
I think this year will make it 37. So how many years have you guys been married for?
We're coming into 50 years.
50 years.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our anniversary on August the 31st, we were 49 years.
49.
So
So
that's
August 31st is my birthday.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
And August 28th, I'll be 3 years in marriage. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
so
this,
we have a lot
this
in
is for
common.
you.
So,
Yeah.
so are you guys been able to stay together for this amount of years? We young people coming up, we have a lot of us in our generation. We are finding it difficult to stay married. People within the first 5 years of marriage, they get divorced and they say, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with marriage anymore. Marriage is a scam. Marriage is too overrated. So are you guys been able to do it? It's been 10 years, 20, 30, 40, and this year will make it 50. So are you guys been able to stay married, to stay that way for 50 years?
Well, we have to give you a little backstory first, okay? Because it wasn't easy. For me, I thought that marriage was important enough that I would look at the vows very, very carefully. And when the vows would say for better or worse, that was what I concentrate on, for better or worse. And our personalities, everybody's personality is so different that we need to identify the worst and work on it. When you are in relationship, a lot of things come up and you have to be able to fluctuate. You have to be able to think on a cocoon caterpillar crawling and how am I going to go from that stage to the butterfly stage? It's not easy. So we had identified the major and critical thing in our life was finances. And I'm gonna let you talk about that, and then I'll say a little more. Finances.
Yeah. We decided to wait to have children.
Sorry, how many children do you have?
I have one from the previous marriage, and we have 2 boys.
Oh, 2 boys.
2 boys, yeah.
Total 3.
Yeah,
Children?
Yes, yes.
How many grands?
9.
9 grands
2 great
and
grands.
2 great
Great
grands.
grand.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Well, so sorry. How old were you when you got married, sir?
I was 25.
25. How about you?
26.
26.
I'm a year older.
Wow. So in your previous marriage, how old were you when you
19.
19?
19.
How was life back then compared to now? Because you both have seen different generations. You guys have seen changes. You guys have seen a lot of cultures. Being married for 50 years. So how was it back then? Is it a lot easier then than now, or is a lot harder?
Well, I would say
Or it's still the same?
it's about the same. Yes, I would say it's a mentality of, they don't understand the value of a marriage. They don't, because probably they don't know the word. When I met him, like I said, I was a backslider, but God was dealing with me. So I rededicated my life. The year we got married, I rededicated my life, and I started. I was always a Bible reader. I knew what the Bible said. That's why I was so miserable. I knew what the Bible said, but I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing it. But once I did, I started to share with him about what God was saying, and how to raise the kids, how to respect and honor each other, all that. But it came a point in our lives after 14 years.
Before you go into
Yes.
what I think you're gonna say.
Yes. Go ahead.
So the value of marriage then and now, which is more?
It was better then. It was stronger then. I think.
Then.
I think
Oh.
so. Yes, at least. Because now you can.
Are you talking about for people in general?
Yes,
or
people
us?
in general.
Because you guys have seen back.
That's it.
Yes. So, like she said, the value of marriage was more stronger then.
I think,
Okay.
yes.
So, in your own perspective and your own life, which is the main goal, like the main which is most significant if you want to keep a long-lasting relationship? Like what do I mean? I mean, what do you believe is the secret to a successful marriage?
The Word of God, really, the Word of God, because that's what kept me going all those years. I would read, and God would give me promises. I have books of promises that he gave me, but not understanding that sometimes promises take a long time. Yeah, it takes a long time. It came a point where, you just said, look, I'm tired now. But go ahead.
Well, let me go back to my statement about the finances.
Yes.
If when you get married, you have to have the exact same perspective on how to handle finances.
Mm-hmm.
Linda came from a perspective of her spouse maybe having a little irresponsibility. And so she was very strong on me not doing and having that same perspective of irresponsibility. She assisted her family. She did all of those things. And I was a person who wasn't used to structure in doing finance. So therefore you have two different, yeah. So when you have I remember somebody said, when you have two heads, it won't work. Two different perspectives, it will not work. So one of the things that Linda always did before she got married, after tithing. I think that saved our marriage through the years. Tithing was, because by her being a tither, God was in all of the financial things that we did. And what she did was, she always gave me the perspective of, I'm gonna tithe no matter what, even if we don't have any food.
That's it.
And it was an occasion that we didn't have any, but she, because we had just had a child and the bills were coming in, and by her tithing, I'm saying, why are you tithing when you can take some of that money and buy food? But she was so dedicated to God and knew God much more in the perspective of how he was major in not only relationships, but in every aspect of what you do. So we didn't have food, but we relied on, prayed to God,
Miracle.
and relied on God. And people, somebody would deliver a bag of groceries to the house.
Yes.
She would make dishes like a soup, and it might not have any meat in it. And I was devastated. Thank God that my sister lived down the street. So I would sneak down the street and get her, and come on back, and I wouldn't even tell her.
Wow.
So anyway, to make a long story short, she was very, very strong in the Lord, strong in what she knew about the Bible and finances, and I was very casual about it, to the point where I knew that the male, the head of the house, the one thing that you must do is find a dwelling, pay your rent, and do all of those other things. So that was my major project. Hers was everything else. Find a dwelling, and never missed a payment. For 50 years, haven't missed a year, because I knew that just like in Genesis, where God put Adam in the garden, he prepared a place for the woman to come. So I knew that when we first met, I had my apartment. That was my preparation. I had my furniture, my apartment, everything, right? So then we had to start deciding on how we were going to do things. We had two different perspectives on things, so it was almost like we were unequally yoked. And the reason I say that is because where the scripture says, be equally yoked, don't be unequally yoked, be equally yoked. The wood part of the yoke would not balance a strong person in a weak. It's not going to happen. The purpose of it is that two strong people be yoked by that wood part. Then I thought, and I said, biblically, I said, Lord, what do you mean by that? And he, through Revelation, said, be ye yoked like I am, be ye yoked. And that meant to me that we can be equally yoked, but it takes work.
Yes.
So it took a lot of work through the years for us to work out problems. I was the type of person that I went to a business seminar, and I found out that you can buy property with no money down, and my perspective was different than hers. My perspective was, hurry up, get property. So I bought 3 properties and had my own. I started fixing up the properties. Here's where a conflict came in, because she wanted me to do one at a time.
One at a time.
I
Stabilized.
get it stabilized.
Then move to the next.
Not me. As the properties became available and I caught on to how to buy properties with no money down, I went and got a second one and a third one. And the money wasn't coming in because we had a business of helping others. One of the businesses had to do with AIDS patients, but the state wasn't giving us money like on time. And she was very upset that I did not wait for whatever, because I just kept buying and kept doing and hiring people to fix up the places and all. They're two different perspectives. That was a problem, and that is probably most people's problems when they have 2 different perspectives of how to do things. She was always the type of person, we have to sit down and we should pray about it. And my perspective was, okay, we can pray about it, but we have to do something, like the scripture says. Not only pray, but take action. Right?
As a result.
So it ended up that she convinced me, let's get out of it, because it was like overwhelming.
Because we lost.
It was overwhelming. We lost the contract from the state, and
What about the property too? What happened to the property that you bought?
it went back to the owners that gave us the property with no money down. So anyway, it went back, and by we having 2 different perspectives, hers was always the same. Mine was more or less of, well, I'm the head, and what I do is what counts. But it didn't work out that way all the time. So what happened was, she took on the role of a helpmate when we decided, okay, this isn't going right, this isn't going well, you need to go back to school. So, because when I got married, I had only 1 year left for my degree, my bachelor's degree. She said, you need to go back to school. She was telling me that is your strength, go back and get your degree, I'll help. There was the helpmate. So when we both, that was a major decision that we did together. And she supported me 100%, and that led to one of the most significant things that have ever happened to me. The fact that we both made a decision for me to go back to school, that she was supportive, and so graduation day was it was spectacular for me. Graduation. I got a job at the Christian Center at Morgan State University as the assistant to the director, and my job was to build up the youth programs. I did that, but to have that job, the director said, you must go and start on your master's in order to have that job. And so I went 2 years.
At Morgan State?
I graduated from Morgan, then went to Howard. At Howard, I did 2 years out of the 3. And my wife was really, really upset because no money was coming in.
We had
2 kids by then.
2 boys now, 2 boys. And
2
a
boys.
girl.
A mortgage on the house.
On the house.
And she was livid that because we didn't have any money. No money to buy, almost not buy Pampers.
Right.
So I had to stop. And that was kind of devastating. That was really, really put a tear in our relationship at that particular point, to put a tear in our relationship. So we had to, at that point, go and what happened?
You had to go back to work.
I had to go, yeah. So because I had a degree, I went into teaching. And my best friend found a position. I lived in Baltimore, found a position down in Prince George's County as a teacher. So I traveled back and forth for years. And that took a toll on me, per se. But at least I had a job. And things were they were getting better. I then got 2 jobs. because of all the past things that were past due. And both was teaching. Regular teacher during the day, taught night school, also at night, and then had to travel all the way back to Baltimore in a car that was a miracle car because it lasted all the way through for a while. It didn't break down. So,
so let me ask you this question. Sorry to cut you short. In your relationship, let me give it that. Let me give you that question. What are the traditions that you guys do together that have strengthened your marriage over these years?
The tradition of Christmas.
Holidays.
Holidays. I love holidays.
Okay, so doing things together.
Yes, during the holidays, getting the house ready, the food, shopping. Not necessarily gifts, because we stopped exchanging gifts because really you'll give someone something that they didn't really want. So if you wanted something, buy it for yourself, you know. And if I wanted something, buy it for me. But that was good because now I'm happy and he's happy, you know. But it was a family tradition, bringing the family together, you know.
She was so blessed with the vision of having every holiday very decorative,
festive,
very aesthetic.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed joining in with that every holiday. The philosophy was we must do something that will, our kids
That would continue.
continue that particular, once we showed them the joy of doing things together, especially holiday, they carried on the tradition.
But you didn't know that they were observing, frankly. You just doing. And at one point, my boys, they were musicians. All the kids were coming to spend Christmas at our house. I'm thinking, well, what are your parents saying? They didn't mind. So they would come. They would be all over the floor and stepping over them trying to get this food ready. But that was very powerful. And when they got married, and we went to visit them, I was really surprised because I never knew they were observing. Yeah, I never knew. So that was a tradition.
That made us very close. We're very happy.
And you'll be how old is you if you don't mind?
Me?
Yes.
I'm 76.
76. So looking at you now, you are very healthy and you're still moving. How are you able to keep yourself?
Prayer and being trying to watch. I learned about what sugar would do, frankly, and I cut way back on that. And
you mean sugar?
Sugar.
Okay, sugar. Okay.
Sugar, yeah, because I loved sweets.
Oh, so you're trying to say that a lot had to do with dieting.
Diet.
Do you do any exercise? Or?
Oh, well, I work.
Oh.
I work full time with autistic kids.
So you're still working?
I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think maybe this year.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll be 77.
She doesn't mind getting down on the floor,
I crawl around, play
crawl
with
around. She must wear her pants.
When is your birthday? When is it?
July 25th.
July 25th. How about you, sir? When is your birthday?
Mine is December 10th.
December 10th, July 25th. Yes. And you too, have you been able to keep yourself? Because I see some elderly people, like even in their 60s, they can't do what I see you do.
Yes.
Yeah. So
It's a mindset also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mindset. A lot of people love to talk about sicknesses, not knowing that we've already won that victory over sickness. So if I feel a pain, no, you take it back to hell where you got it from. No, I say no. I'm dogmatic about it. I'm dogmatic. I take a lot of extra supplements also, zinc and stuff like that.
okay.
And I think that
Do you exercise too?
somewhat, not as much as she does, but she brought me a machine.
Oh, what's in there?
Kobe.